It's a fascinating public policy, and who better to explain it than a man of the law himself, the presiding judge, Alberto Lamarena. Your Honor, welcome back.
Okay, thank you, Jason, for inviting me.
All right, well, it's always a pleasure to have you here. Always good to have someone as learned as you break down this law and everything.
Oh, thank you, you're so kind.
Well, in layman's terms, for somebody like me that does not get, public policy and everything, how can first-time offenders actually consider themselves eligible to have their records expunged?
Okay, these are first-time offender who were charged for possession of a Schedule II controlled substance as a third-degree felony. That's people mostly that were caught with possession or consumption of ice, methamphetamine. Now, these are the cases that were, these are the people that were convicted between 1995 and 2005. We counted about 1,800 cases were filed during that period. That's when the methamphetamine epidemic started on Guam. And that was prior to the implementation of the adult drug court, which is implemented in 2003. As you well know, the adult drug court has been a very successful program at the Superior Court of Guam. Those people graduating, we have a 92% success rate of those who graduated. That means they don't come back or reoffend for possession of a Schedule controlled substance again. So it's a very highly successful program. What we wanted to do was to be equitable and fair for those people who went through the same treatment and through the same program prior to the implementation of the adult drug court program. And so they would have the same opportunity to have their cases expunged. So I thank the legislature, Speaker Cruz, Senator Respicio, Senator Camacho, Senator Toniata, and the governor for signing this legislation into law. This gives an opportunity for those people who went through who were convicted between 1995 and 2005, an opportunity to come to the court to apply to have and request to the court to have their case expunged.
And now again, for the average person out there, when your case is expunged, when a matter that you have previously convicted for, when it is expunged, that just basically means that it's not going to show up when you apply for a job, when you try to get a loan, things like that.
It should not show up when you apply for a job or apply for college, etc. So when you go to
it's
court
wiped off your record
and get a clearance from the court or a clearance from the police department, that record will not be shown in your report.
Now, Judge, you're also big on recidivism, as we talked many, many times.
Yes.
But in the rare occasion that, maybe someone was convicted of ICE and then they go through this program, they have it stricken from their record. If they should be convicted in the future, again, the process starts all over, or?
Okay, what happens, Jason, not everybody's cases will be expunged because there are certain requirements that you have to meet before the court will consider your request. Because just as you go the adult drug court, we have requirements and to enter in the adult drug court program. And the requirements are that, one, you have to be, of course, an adult. Secondly, you have had no prior possession charges, convicted of any possession charges. You have not been convicted of any dealing in drugs or any violent crimes and other requirements set by the Attorney General's office. What the procedure will be, you'll make a request to the Superior Court of Guam. The case will be assigned to me. I will then turn over your request, their request, to the Attorney General. They will then determine whether or not this person would have been eligible to the adult drug court program if the adult drug court program was in place at that time. If they find out that they are eligible to have entered the program, then the probation will then determine whether or not they had any subsequent convictions in nature, such as felony or violent types of crime. If the probation office determines that they don't, then the court then will grant the request for expungement. If they do not, then I will deny the request for expungement. However, the court will, of course, give an opportunity for the defendant to come before me to make a motion for reconsideration. If that happens, then the court will then appoint the public defender to assist that person in making that motion and to argue on behalf of that person, so that the court then will consider whether or not to expunge their case.
So to allay maybe the concerns of John Q. Public, this isn't just making sure that everybody who was convicted of drugs within that period and everything like that gets a free ride. There is a very exhaustive and very well-defined procedure that you go through to make sure that it works.
Correct, because the adult drug court program itself that we have now currently in place does have legal and and clinical requirements in order to get to the program. So these people have to have met those requirements as well.
Okay, when can people start finding out if they are eligible, or have you already seen people come
We,
forward?
well, you know, I've been told by the clerk's office, a lot of people are coming in, picking up their requests to reopen their criminal case and request for an expungement. So we expect to have a lot of requests filed probably this week. So the word is out there, and you know how Guam is. Once the word is out, everybody seems to hear it.
People are going to tell each other.
Yes,
So I
yes.
would think you and your staff have your work cut out for you to a certain
Yes,
degree.
we'll have our work cut out, and the Attorney General and probation as well.
Okay. Is there,
But you know, it's a good type of work because, you know, we're trying to give up a second chance to each of these individuals who, in the past, had not had the opportunity to get a job or go to college or do other things because of their criminal record.
yeah, this is a fantastic and fascinating policy and everything.
Well, I'm very excited, and I hope that we have as many, we can expunge as many of these people as we can. And we anticipate maybe in the hundreds, I hope.
Oh, very interesting. Well,
Yes.
well, Your Honor, you're always welcome back, of course.
Okay,
and-
thank you,
and
Jason.
We'd like to bring you back, and you'll find out how the program's going as we move
Okay,
forward.
you're welcome.
All right. Sidis Pasi, thank you very
Okay,
much.
be glad to be here.
All right.
Okay.
Please stay tuned, everybody. We are back.